I didn't expect that call that morning. When the phone rang and I saw the school's name on the caller ID, my heart immediately tightened. The principal wanted to talk to me, and the reason left me speechless. My 8-year-old daughter had written an essay entitled, "My Family Ignores Me." It was a day like any other, but suddenly, my routine was interrupted by a reality I was not ready to face. I remember the smell of coffee cooling in the kitchen as I tried to process what I had just heard. Does my daughter really feel this way? I thought, trying to recall any signs I might have ignored. Many people feel exactly this way, a mixture of guilt and surprise. The principal began reading the essay, and each word was like a small stab in my heart. She described moments when I was too busy to play and when my husband was always working late. She mentioned the times she ate dinner alone while we were caught up in our own routines. Have you ever thought about that? That we can hurt those we love most without realizing it? That essay was a silent cry echoing in my mind. But there's one detail that changes everything. My daughter has always been a smiling, lively child, and I never imagined that behind her smile there could be so much need. And this is where things get interesting. I realized that a child's perception can be much deeper than we imagine. It took me a while to find the right words, but finally, I sat down with my daughter that night. I asked her how she felt, and she looked at me with those big, innocent eyes. "I just wanted you to notice me more," she said, and my heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. If you've ever experienced something similar, you know what I'm talking about. It was a moment of clarity for me. Life can envelop us in a whirlwind of commitments and distractions, but nothing is more important than being present for those we love. It's worth reflecting on that. From that day on, we decided to make changes. Family dinners became sacred, and we started dedicating more time to simple things, like playing at the park or reading a bedtime story. The transformation in our home was silent but profound. My daughter returned to being the joyful child she always was, and I learned a valuable lesson about what truly matters. I learned that listening is more than hearing words. It's perceiving what is not being said. If this story touched you, remember that it's never too late to change and make a difference in the lives of those we love. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can offer is simply being present. After that night, something inside me awakened. It was as if a new lens had been placed in front of my eyes, revealing the details that previously went unnoticed in the rush of daily life. I began to observe my daughter more attentively, seeing how she lit up when talking about her day at school, or when she achieved a small victory, like completing a puzzle on her own. I realized that the things I considered small were actually enormous for her. On a sunny afternoon, I decided to surprise her. I picked her up from school and took her for a picnic in the park. The joy on her face when she saw the basket of her favorite foods and the checkered blanket spread over the grass was priceless. We sat there under the shade of a large tree, and she began to talk about her adventures and dreams. "Mummy, when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut and see the stars up close," she said with a sparkle in her eyes that only children have. Have you ever thought about that? How children's dreams are pure and full of hope? While she was talking, I realized that I was not just listening but truly present. And in that moment, everything seemed to make sense. The world beyond that park could wait because nothing was more important than being there with her. Many people feel exactly this, a connection so deep that it transcends words. But there was more to be done. My husband also needed to reconnect with our daughter. We talked about it one quiet night after she had already gone to sleep. He was lost in thought, and I knew he was reflecting on everything that had happened. "I don't want to be just a provider," he said, his voice laden with sincerity. "I want to be a present father, and I need to change that." We then decided to create a ritual just for them. Every Friday would be father and daughter night. He would pick her up from school, and together they would do something special. Whether it was a visit to the museum, a bike ride, or even a movie night at home. And little by little, I could see how this brought them closer. Their relationship blossomed, and it was beautiful to see how my daughter eagerly awaited these nights. One day, while we were preparing dinner, she excitedly told us how Dad taught her to ride a bike without training wheels. "I fell a few times, but he was always there to help me get up," she said, with pride and a touch of bravery. And this is where things truly transform. The confidence we build in our children when we are truly present is immeasurable. These moments, though they seemed simple, were altering the dynamics of our family. We were learning to value quality time, and it was making us closer. I began to realize that, in the end, it wasn't just about being physically present, but being emotionally available. Does this remind you of a situation where you realized that small changes could have a big impact? With time, the changes in our lives began to reflect in other areas. Our dinners, once silent and rushed, became moments to share stories and laughter. Sunday mornings, which often went unnoticed, transformed into adventures in the backyard where creativity knew no bounds. And in each moment, my daughter taught us something new about the simplicity and joy of living. In the end, I realized that the real transformation wasn't just in my relationship with my daughter. It was an internal change, a new understanding of what it means to be a mother and a wife. I learned the importance of slowing down, of listening, and being present. And above all, I learned that love is an action, not just a feeling. If you've ever felt this way, you know that the journey of rediscovery can be challenging but also deeply rewarding. It's worth reflecting on. What can we do today to connect more deeply with those we love? The lessons my daughter taught me are precious, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Our story continues, with new chapters being written each day. And as I look to the future, I know that regardless of the challenges that may arise, we will be together, ready to face them with love and presence. If this narrative resonated with you, remember that it is always possible to find new ways to connect with those you love. After all, life is made up of these precious moments that transform us and remind us of what really matters. May we all learn to listen to what is not being said and to cherish each moment. The days went by, and the feeling of renewal in our family was palpable. Every morning as I prepared the coffee, I found myself reflecting on how small gestures have the power to create big changes. Our home, which before it was just a place to live, now it has turned into a vibrant home, full of laughter and sincere conversations. Have you ever gone through that, when you realize that the external transformation is just a reflection of the internal one? The impact of this change wasn't limited to the family environment. With a lighter heart and a more present mind, I began to notice how my productivity at work improved. The distractions that once consumed me seemed less important, and I was able to focus on what really needed to be done. The sense of balance I found at home extended to other areas of my life, and it brought a new energy to my days. Have you ever thought about how emotional balance can influence our ability to accomplish everyday tasks so much? One afternoon, while helping my daughter with her homework, she paused and, with the sincerity that only children have, said, "Mom, I like it when you are here with me." Those words, simple and direct, reaffirmed everything I was trying to achieve. It's amazing how children can, with just a few words, touch the exact point we need to hear. And then the weekend came, and with it, a new idea. We decided to take a short trip, something we hadn't done in a long time. We chose a nearby destination, a small town known for its bucolic landscapes and fresh air. The trip began with the sound of laughter and music in the car as the road wound before us, promising new memories. When we arrived, we were greeted by a breathtaking scenery. Green fields stretched as far as the eye could see, and the sound of birds completed the natural symphony. We spent the day exploring nature, walking on trails, and discovering small hidden streams. Seeing my daughter running free, with the wind tousling her hair and a big smile on her face, was a reminder of what really matters in life. At night, we settled into a small inn. Sitting around a campfire, we shared stories and dreams under a starry sky. My husband, usually reserved, surprised everyone when he began telling stories from his childhood, transporting us to a time when worries were fewer and life seemed simpler. The connection we created at that moment is something we will never forget. Upon returning home, I felt that this little getaway had further strengthened the bonds between us. The routine awaited us, but we were ready to face it with a new perspective. And this is where things truly transform, realizing that true wealth lies in shared experiences and moments of full presence. As the weeks went by, we continued to nurture these new traditions. Friday nights, dedicated to my husband and our daughter, became a sacred ritual, eagerly anticipated by both. And I, in turn, learned to value moments of silence, using them to reflect and connect with myself. But, as in every journey, there were challenges. Not every day was perfect, and occasionally the hustle and bustle of daily life tried to pull us back into old habits. However, we were more aware now, and each time we noticed this, we made a point to remind ourselves of the promises we made. One day, during a family dinner, my daughter surprised us with another essay. This time, the title was "My Family is My Treasure." As she read aloud, her words painted a picture of love and gratitude. She talked about the little things we did together, the shared laughter, and the moments of learning. When she finished, she looked at us with a smile that reflected renewed confidence. I was moved to realize that the effort we made to change our family dynamics had not only been noticed, but also appreciated. And in that moment, I understood that the lessons she taught us were much deeper than anything we could have taught her. If this story touched you, perhaps it's time to look around and appreciate the treasures you already possess. The moments that truly matter are often hidden in simple gestures and sincere words. And sometimes all we need is to slow down and listen. Because life, with all its complexities, offers us daily opportunities to love and learn. As we continue our journey, I know that there will always be room for growth and transformation. And with each new day, we reaffirm our commitment to being truly present, valuing what really matters, and creating memories that will last forever. That night, after the emotional reading of the essay, while we were setting the dinner table, something occurred to me. I asked my daughter if she would like to start a new project, something we could do together continuously. Her eyes lit up with excitement, and she suggested that we create a family journal where each of us could write or draw something special about our day. The idea seemed perfect to me, a way to eternalize our moments and further strengthen the bond we were building. We started that very night. We sat around the table with a stack of colored papers, pens, and colored pencils. My daughter, with all her creativity, drew what had amused her the most that day: a big smiling sun and 3 figures holding hands under it, representing our family. My husband, in turn, wrote a few words about how happy he was to have had the time to teach our daughter to ride a bike without training wheels. I also wrote, expressing my gratitude for us all being together, living and learning. As the days went by, our family journal became a nightly ritual. Each entry was a time capsule, filled with small moments of happiness and lessons learned. And this is where things get even more meaningful. Upon revisiting these pages, we realized how we have grown together and how each challenge faced made us stronger. Have you thought about this before? How the simple act of reflecting on our days can bring so much meaning and clarity. One autumn afternoon, while we were walking through a park covered in golden leaves, my daughter asked me about what I dreamed of when I was a child. The question took me by surprise, and I found myself talking about my own childhood dreams of becoming a writer and creating stories that touched people's hearts. By sharing this with her, I realized that I was, in a way, living that dream now, through the stories we created together in our journal. And so, the seasons passed. Our family continued to grow and transform, each of us learning to cherish time and presence. On holidays, we decided to invite our parents and siblings to share some of these traditions we had created. It was an opportunity to further strengthen our family bonds, and seeing my daughter interacting with her grandparents, uncles, and cousins brought a special warmth to our home. During one of these gatherings, my father, with a nostalgically emotional smile, reminded me of how he and my mother used to do something similar when I was a child. He told stories of how our own family dinners were moments of connection and learning, and that even the simplest traditions could leave deep marks. This made me realize that we were, in a way, reliving and adapting these memories for our own family. But not everything was always easy. There were days when impatience and fatigue threatened to undo what we had built. However, on those occasions, we remembered to take a deep breath and take a step back, valuing the importance of staying present and united. Those challenging moments also taught us about resilience and the importance of being kind to each other, even when things didn't go as planned. Over time, our family diary became a bulky book, full of colors, stories, and feelings. Each page told a part of our journey, and flipping through them was like revisiting an album of living memories. And here is where the true magic happens, realizing that, through these small actions, we were creating a legacy of love and presence for future generations. One day, while watching my daughter sleep, I found myself thinking about how life is made up of a series of intertwined moments, each with its own meaning and impact, and that the true value of these moments does not lie in their grandeur, but in the genuine presence and love we place in them. If you have ever reflected on this, you know that life is not measured by great events, but by the small gestures of care and attention we offer to the people we love. And that, in the end, it is these moments that define us and connect us more deeply. Finally, looking to the future, I know that our family will continue to create new memories, face challenges, and celebrate victories. And above all, I know that we will be together, ready to embrace each new day with an open heart and the certainty that true wealth lies in shared experiences and the love we cultivate along the way. That night, as the moon shone softly through the window, a new thought crossed my mind: how important it would be to pass these values on. The idea that we were not only living for ourselves but also planting seeds for the future filled me with a renewed sense of purpose. Have you ever thought about that before? How our daily actions can resonate far beyond the present, shaping lives in ways we can't always predict. With this reflection, the idea of sharing our experiences with other parents emerged. Perhaps others also needed this gentle reminder that being present is a gift in itself. I started writing small chronicles based on our family diary and shared them with a group of friends. The response was warm and encouraging, showing that many identified with our journey. Many people feel exactly that: the search for balance between responsibilities and genuine presence in their children's lives. One afternoon, while reviewing the diary notes, my daughter approached with a curious look. She asked if she could share some stories at school in a presentation about family. The request touched me deeply. I realized that we were inspiring not only ourselves but also her to value the importance of sharing and connecting with others. We agreed, and together we selected some of her favorite entries. On the day of the presentation, seeing her in front of her classmates, enthusiastically recounting our family's adventures and learning experiences, I felt immense pride. Her confidence and joy were palpable, and I knew we were on the right path. The applause at the end confirmed that these stories had the power to touch hearts, regardless of age. Over time, our traditions continued to evolve. We decided to incorporate a monthly cultural night, where each family member could present something new they had learned. This not only expanded our horizons, also brought us even closer. One night, my daughter performed a dance she had learned, and seeing her passion and dedication was inspiring. Have you ever thought about this before? How these small initiatives can enrich our lives in unexpected ways? As the seasons changed, I realized that the internal transformation we had experienced was also being reflected in our external relationships. Friends and family began to notice the changes and often asked us about the new routines we had adopted. This gave us the opportunity to share our experience more broadly, inspiring others to seek their own moments of connection. One day, while we were walking in the park, my daughter ran into an old school friend. They chatted animatedly, and soon he joined us. During the walk, he shared that his parents were always busy and that he missed family moments. His words echoed in me, reminding me of how our journey had begun. Our daughter, with her childlike wisdom, invited him to our next cultural night, saying that he would always be welcome in our home. That week, when he visited us, I was moved to see how welcomed he felt, actively participating in the activities and eventually contributing his own ideas. This made me realize that, although our journey was personal, its impact could be much broader. And this is where things really transform, understanding that by creating a space of love and acceptance, we were not only strengthening our family, but also opening doors for others to feel part of it. With each new month, we wrote down our experiences in the diary, now increasingly a patchwork quilt of our lives. The pages were filled with drawings, thoughts, and memories that told the story of our growth together. It was a constant reminder that, even on the most challenging days, there was always something to be grateful for. As time went by, my daughter began to show interest in writing her own stories. With enthusiasm, she started creating small tales based on our adventures, mixing reality with the vivid imagination that only children have. Seeing her creativity flourish was one of the greatest gifts of this journey, and I knew we were helping to plant the seeds for a promising future. One quiet night, as we were getting ready for bed, my daughter snuggled up next to me and whispered, "Mummy, I love our family. Thank you for always being here." Those words, so simple and sincere, were the final confirmation that we were on the right path. They were a reminder that, in the end, what really matters is the love we share and the moments we create together. If this story resonated with you, perhaps it's time to look around and notice the opportunities for connection that already exist in your life. After all, true wealth lies in the bonds we form and the love we cultivate, day by day. May we all find the time and presence to create memories that last forever. The next morning, as I was getting ready for another day, a thought occurred to me. What if we could expand our circle of love and presence even more? The idea of organizing a community gathering where families could share their stories and traditions began to take shape in my mind. Have you ever thought about that? How the union of many families can create a network of support and inspiration. With enthusiasm, I shared the idea with my husband and daughter over breakfast. They loved the proposal, and together we began to plan the event. We chose a local park as the meeting place, a spot where children could play freely while adults exchanged experiences and learnings. In the days leading up to the event, our house was filled with energy and anticipation. My daughter was adamant about creating handmade invitations, each decorated with colorful drawings and welcome messages. My husband, on the other hand, reached out to friends and colleagues, inviting them to join us. The response was positive, and we soon realized that our small gathering was becoming something bigger than we had imagined. Finally, the day arrived. The park was bathed in the soft morning sunlight, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the surrounding trees. Families began to arrive, bringing with them picnic baskets and warm smiles. Seeing the joy on the children's faces and the excitement among the adults, I felt that we were creating something truly special. Many people feel exactly this: the magic of being among people who share similar values. During the event, we organized activities for all ages. There were cooperative games, craft workshops, and even a storytelling session. The children ran around, exploring and laughing, while the adults gathered in small groups, sharing experiences about the challenges and joys of family life. The atmosphere was one of camaraderie and mutual support, as if we were all there to learn and grow together. One of the most touching moments occurred during the storytelling session. A father, whom we only knew by sight, shared a narrative about his childhood and the lessons he learned from his own parents. His story resonated deeply with all of us, reminding us that each family has its own journey, but that, in essence, many of our experiences are universal. Have you ever thought of that before? How our personal stories can connect and inspire those around us. As the sun began to set, the event was coming to a close. Families gathered for one last activity, a large gratitude circle where each person had the opportunity to express something they were thankful for that day. The words spoken there were a powerful reminder that despite our differences, we were all there for a common reason: the desire to create stronger and more meaningful bonds. As we packed up the last things and prepared to go home, my daughter came up and hugged me tightly. "It was an amazing day, Mum. Can we do this again?" she asked, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. The answer was clear in my heart. Yes, we would do this again, and many more times, as the journey we started in our family was now intertwining with that of others, creating a rich and diverse tapestry of love and presence. In the days that followed, the messages of thanks and encouragement we received from the participants warmed our hearts. It was clear that the event had left a positive mark on everyone involved, and this motivated us to continue seeking ways to strengthen our community. We returned to our routine, but with a renewed sense of purpose and connection. The experience showed us that when we come together, we can create something greater than ourselves. And this is where things truly transform. Realizing that by cultivating love and presence in our lives, we are contributing to a more welcoming and supportive world. If you have ever experienced this, you know that these moments remind us that every little gesture counts. And as we continue to move forward, I know there will always be opportunities to create meaningful moments and leave a legacy of love for future generations. With each new day, we reaffirm our commitment to being present and valuing the connections we build. Because in the end, it is these relationships that define and sustain us, both in moments of joy and in challenges. And thus, we move forward with open hearts and the certainty that we are on the right path. That morning, as the fresh coffee scented the kitchen, I found myself reflecting on the impact our journey had not only on our family, but on the community around us. Each step we took seemed to resonate, creating waves of change that spread beyond our small circle. And this is how the idea of creating a series of monthly gatherings came about, where each family could bring their own experiences and learnings. Have you ever thought about that? How a simple meeting can turn into a support point for so many. With the support of friends and neighbors, we began organizing these gatherings in different locations, from community halls to cozy backyards. Each event had its own theme, reflecting the needs and interests of the participating families. Once, we explored the importance of communication, encouraging everyone to share stories on how to overcome misunderstandings and strengthen bonds. Another time, the focus was on outdoor activities, promoting the health and vitality that come with contact with nature. These gatherings became a source of inspiration and mutual learning. The children, always curious and full of energy, found new friendships and adventures at each meeting. And the adults, often overwhelmed by the pressures of everyday life, found a safe space to relax, share, and grow together. It was as if each event rekindled the community spirit, reminding us that we are not alone in our journeys. One day, during one of these meetings, we met a family that had just moved to the area. They were facing the challenge of adapting to a new environment and looking for ways to integrate into the community. The mother, with a shy smile, shared her concerns about how her children were dealing with the change. We welcomed her with open arms, and soon she and her family became an integral part of our circle, bringing their own stories and experiences to further enrich our group. This experience made me realize the importance of being receptive and inclusive. Many people feel exactly this: the desire to belong, to find a place where their stories are heard and valued. And by opening our hearts and homes, we were not only helping others, but also enriching our own lives with new perspectives and friendships. Over time, we began to expand our meetings to include workshops and talks on various topics, from financial education to mental health. We invited experts and volunteers from the community to share their knowledge, creating a space for continuous learning. And this is where things truly transformed, by realizing that each person has something valuable to contribute. We built an environment of mutual support and growth. During one of these workshops, a speaker shared a touching story about resilience and overcoming adversity. He talked about the challenges he faced in his personal life and how he found the strength to move forward through the support of his community. His words deeply moved all of us, and many left inspired to face their own challenges with renewed determination. As the meetings became part of our routine, I realized how much they were shaping our worldview. We were learning to see beyond our own experiences, to appreciate the richness of diversity, human, and to value the stories each person brought with them. Have you thought about this before? How the simple exchange of experiences can broaden our horizons and make us more empathetic and understanding. And so, with each meeting, our community flourished. What started as an attempt to reconnect as a family transformed into a vibrant and welcoming support network where everyone could find space to be heard, to learn, and to grow. It was a constant reminder that together we are stronger and capable of facing any challenge life throws at us. Over time, these experiences taught us that true wealth lies in the connections we form and the love we cultivate, like a garden that blossoms with care and attention. Our community grew and strengthened each day, creating a legacy of presence and love that we hope will last for generations. And as we continue the journey, we know there will always be new challenges and opportunities ahead. But with each step we take together, we reaffirm our commitment to support one another and to value the beauty of being truly present in the lives of those we love. For, in the end, it is these connections that define and sustain us, creating a rich and diverse tapestry of shared experiences and eternal love. If this story resonated with you, perhaps it is time to consider how you can strengthen your own connections and create meaningful moments in your life. After all, true wealth lies in the love we share and the bonds we form day after day. May we all find the strength and inspiration to cultivate these precious relationships, creating a more welcoming and loving world for all. As we continued our monthly gatherings, I began to notice small changes in the families around us. Conversations became deeper, the children more confident, and the smiles more frequent. It was as if together we were discovering a new way of living, more aligned with our values and hopes. Have you ever thought about that? How a simple act of bringing people together can catalyze such significant changes. With each new gathering, new ideas came. One afternoon, during a casual conversation about the impact of nature on our well-being, someone suggested that we organize a weekend retreat where we could disconnect from technology and reconnect with each other. The idea was received with enthusiasm, and in no time we began to plan the details. We chose a place surrounded by mountains and rivers, a refuge far from the noise of the city. Upon our arrival, the tranquility of the environment enveloped us like a warm hug. The children explored the surroundings with curiosity, while the adults took deep breaths, relieved by the simplicity around us. During those days, we rediscovered the beauty of a morning walk, the pleasure of a shared meal, and the peace of a starry night. On the last day of the retreat, we organized a closing ceremony around a campfire. Each family was invited to share a reflection or learning from that weekend. The words exchanged there were sincere and emotional, a testament to the power of community and the importance of being present for those we love. It was a reminder that, although our journeys are unique, our desires for connection and understanding are universal. As we returned home, I felt that we had not only strengthened our bonds but also planted seeds for future generations. My daughter, who had made new friends and lived unforgettable adventures, was radiant. She confided that she wanted to organize something similar with her friends at school, carrying forward the spirit of unity and learning that we had cultivated. With each step we took, the transformation in our lives became more evident. The distractions that once seemed so important were now seen in a new light, and our priority was clear: to be present, to love, and to support each other. This new perspective began to influence other areas of our lives, from how we approached challenges at work to how we related to friends and family. One day, while reviewing our family diary, I noticed something my daughter had written. "Happiness is being together even when everything seems difficult." Her words, simple and full of wisdom, captured the essence of our journey. Many people feel exactly this, that in the end, what really matters are the people around us and the love we share with them. We then decided that it was time to expand our circle of love and presence even further. We began collaborating with other communities, sharing our experiences and learning from theirs. We organized joint events where families from different backgrounds and stories could gather, celebrate their traditions, and strengthen their bonds. It was inspiring to see how, despite our differences, there was always more that united us than separated us. These collaborations brought new perspectives and enriched our lives in ways we had never imagined. By listening to the stories of other families, we learned about resilience, hope, and the human capacity to adapt and grow. And this is where things really transform. By recognizing the value of each story, we realize that we all have something to offer, something that can inspire and uplift others. As the months passed, our support network grew, and soon we realized that we were creating a movement that promoted the importance of presence, unconditional love, and community. We were building a new way of living where relationships were prioritized and every moment was valued. As we look to the future, we know our journey is just beginning. There is still much to learn, share, and experience. But with each new day, we reaffirm our commitment to being present. loving without reservation, and cultivating the connections that sustain us. And if this story resonated with you, perhaps it is time to reflect on the connections in your own life. Because in the end, it is these relationships that define us, strengthen us, and remind us of what truly matters. May we all find the courage and inspiration to create meaningful moments, build lasting bonds, and transform the world around us, one step at a time. Before you leave, do 2 things now. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive the next messages. And share this video with someone who needs to hear this today. To continue, watch the next video. It's already in the cards and also in the description.